The Golden Fortune. Once upon a time, there was a merchant named Abdul Malik. He was known as the Good Man of Khorasan because from his immense fortune he used to give to charity and hold feasts for the poor. But one day it occurred to him that he was simply giving away some of what he had, and that the pleasure which he obtained through his generosity was far in excess of what it really cost him to sacrifice what was, after all, such a small proportion of his wealth. As soon as this thought entered his mind, he decided to give away every penny for the good of mankind. And he did so. No sooner had he divested himself of all his possessions, resigned to face whatever events life might have in store for him, Abdul Malik saw, during his meditation hour, a strange figure seem to rise from the floor of his room. A man was taking shape before his very eyes, dressed in the patchwork robe of the mysterious dervish. "O Abdul Malik, generous man of Khorasan," intoned the apparition. "I am your real self, which has now become almost real to you because you have done something really charitable, measured against which your previous record of goodness is as nothing. Because of this, and because you are able to part with your fortune without feeling personal satisfaction, I am rewarding you from the real source of reward. In future, I will appear before you in this way every day. You will strike me, and I will turn to gold. You will be able to take from this golden image as much as you may wish. Do not fear that you will harm me, because whatever you take will be replaced from the source of all endowments." So saying, he disappeared. The very next morning, a friend named Bayakal was sitting with Abdul Malik when the dervish spectre began to manifest itself. Abdul Malik struck it with a stick, and the figure fell to the ground, transformed into gold. He took part of it for himself and gave some of the gold to his guest. Now Bayakal, not knowing what had gone before, started to think how he could perform a similar wonder. He knew that dervishes had strange powers, and concluded that it was necessary only to beat them to obtain gold. So he arranged for a feast to be held, to which every dervish who had heard of it could come and eat his fill. When they had all eaten well, Bayakal took up an iron bar and thrashed every dervish within reach until they lay battered and broken on the ground. Those dervishes who were unharmed seized Bayakal and took him to the judge. They stated their case and produced the wounded dervishes as evidence. Bayakal related what had happened at Abdul Malik's house and explained his reasons for trying to reproduce the trick. Abdul Malik was called, and on the way to the court his golden self whispered to him what to say. "May it please the court," he said, "this man seems to me to be insane, or to be trying to cover up some penchant for assaulting people without cause. I do know him, but his story does not correspond with my own experiences in my house." Bayakal was therefore placed for a time in a lunatic asylum until he became more calm. The dervishes recovered almost at once through some science known to themselves. And nobody believed that such an astonishing thing as a man who becomes a golden statue, and daily at that, could ever take place. For many another year, until he was gathered to his forefathers, Abdul Malik continued to break the image which was himself, and to distribute its treasure, which was himself, to those whom he could not help in any other way than materially. There is a dervish tradition that clerics present their morally uplifting teachings in parable form, but that dervishes conceal their teachings more completely, because only the effort to understand, or the efforts of a teaching master, will create the effect which will really help transform the hearer. This tale inclines more towards the parable form than most of its kind. But the dervish who related it in the marketplace of Peshawar in the early 1950s warned, "Do not take the moral. Concentrate upon the early part of the story, It tells you about method.